Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, me. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Harley Nouveau, if you did not know. And you might be asking yourself, why are you shirtless, Harley? Well, I don't have any more pink shirts and I was going for a specific look and yeah, you work with what you have. Okay, so if it wasn't obvious enough, today, September 3rd, is my birthday, you guys. I was born on this day. And in honor of that, I'm going to be doing I guess it's called a birthday tag. I found it online. Essentially, it's like just a bunch of questions about myself, some of which I might have already answered in a previous video, but hey, what's a little refresher gonna hurt? So, do you like this look? I was going for kind of like strawberry vibes, but I don't have that much stuff to work with. So if you want to provide that for me, help a bitch out. Send me an email, send me an Insta message, and I'll be very grateful. So let's get on with the questions, shall we? Do you go by a nickname? Yes. Depending on when you're watching this, I plan on getting my name legally changed when I graduate from school, but I go by my middle name, Harley. It's not actually my first name. My first name is Ryan. I didn't pick it, so. And I had a boyfriend who used to call me Red back when I had ginger hair, but that's about it. When driving, do you listen to music? I usually listen to music depending on what mood I'm in. I have like a very varied musical playlist, and if I'm not listening to that, I'm super queenie, so my soundtrack that I usually listen to is Glee, all 728 songs that were ever sung on Glee. Are you a window person or an aisle person? I've only ever been on a plane twice, and both times I sat by the window. I love watching the landscape go by as I'm 30,000 feet in the air, so I'm more of a window person. How do you relieve stress? Depends on the level of stress. If it's like really stressful, I like to throw things. If it's just normal stress, I just like to go for a drive. I love driving. What's your favorite childhood TV show? Sailor Moon, without a doubt. Love that shit. I always wanted to be a Sailor Scout when I was a little boy. When you were a kid, what did you want to be when you grew up? Well, when I was a little child, and I wish I had this little picture because they had us do this photo shoot thing in 2nd grade, but I lost it in a fire. I wanted to be an artist. So in a way, I guess I'm living the dream. What is the best prank you ever pulled off? I actually have never really pranked anyone before. I'm not huge on pranking. I find it really stupid. I feel as though there's an element of slapstick to pranking, and I find slapstick to be the most basic, bottom of the barrel level of comedy. If you had to go to dinner with any 3 people, who would you choose? So if I consider nothing about how well these people would get along, I would want to go to dinner with Christopher Hitchens, who is like an intellectual icon of mine. Jeffree Star, because I would love to pick his brain about business, and Cher, because I'm a total cliche. If you could get back any article of clothing you once wore, what would it be? When I was younger, I've only ever had one boyfriend in my entire life, and he died 2 years ago, and I used to have this blue hoodie of his that I loved to wear, and I don't know what happened to it. I lost it years ago. I wish I could get that back. If you could hire any actor to play you in a movie, who would you pick? Probably Chris Colfer. I don't know. I feel like that'd be a good fit. If you could play any instrument, what would you choose? I can narrow it down to 2. I've always either wanted to play a flute or play the harp, just because I find there to be something really whimsical and also fantastical about those 2 instruments. And if you know anything about me, you know that I am obsessed with fairy tales, and those seem like very fairy tale musical instruments to play. If you could hear any one person in the world give a speech, who would it be? I wish I could have been there for Martin Luther King Jr.'s I Have a Dream speech. I would love to have felt the energy that was going through the crowd. I would have loved to experience that in person. If you could live in one city for the rest of your life, where would you live? Calabasas, only because I have all these dreams and aspirations for my life, and being able to, I'm sorry if you hear airplanes in the background, being able to live in Calabasas would mean that I achieved all those dreams, financially at least. If you could make any fictional character come to life, who would it be? I think I would pick Regina Mills from Once Upon a Time, because I feel like she'd be an amazing role model, and I would love for her to just be like my surrogate mom. That'd be so great. And when you were a kid, what did you dress up as for Halloween? When I was a child, I was weeaboo AF, so I always liked to dress as really stupid like anime characters. I remember one year I dressed up as Inuyasha, and if it wasn't that, it was like as close to something feminine as I could pull off. After I got old enough to really like pick my own stuff without any interference, I usually would do like gender bend characters, like a male Harley Quinn, stuff like that. Do you sleep with your closet door open or closed? I sleep with my closet door closed. I grew up with like a really terrifying fear of closets, not for cliche reasons, but because I had a traumatic experience in one when I was tiny, and really small, dark, confined spaces like that freak me out. I've gotten better with age though. If you could be any cartoon character, who would you pick? Probably Ariel from The Little Mermaid. Despite the fact that she's gorgeous and has an amazing singing voice, I would love the ability to swim freely in the ocean or walk on land. And also, Prince Eric was a total snack. Do you take shampoo and conditioners from hotels? I do not. I usually find them to be very cheap and not at all adequate at performing even the most basic of hair care tasks, so I leave that shit behind. Have you stolen a street sign before? I have not. I really wanted to back when I lived in Denton. When I went to college, they had a street sign that was like Gay Street. I really wanted to steal that when I moved, but I decided not to because I'm a punk ass bitch. I don't know what to say. Do you sleep with your sheets tucked in or tucked out? I sleep with them tucked out because I run really hot, probably all the extra padding that I have going on. And if I'm tucked in, it gets way too toasty for me. 21, would you rather be attacked by a big bear or a swarm of bees? Okay, so depending on what kind of bees, if they're normal bees, I'd pick the bees. If it's like Africanized bees, I'd probably pick the bear because I will die faster that way. Africanized bees will chase you for up to a mile and will also hover above water if you try to hide underwater. I would rather just get it over with. Do you always smile for pictures? No. I just really hate my smile, you know? Have you peed in the woods? Yeah, I guess. I like have a huge fear of public bathrooms, including like campground bathrooms. So when I was really little and I'd go out like camping, I would just pee in the woods, but I would never go number 2. I'd always hold it. What size is your bed? Shocking to those who may assume I have a large bed because I'm a large man, but I sleep in a twin size bed. I don't like having all that extra room. It just makes me depressed that no one else is in bed with me. What was the best concert you'd ever attended? I have only ever been to one concert, which you can check out on my channel. I did a vlog about it, and that was the Ariana Grande Sweetener concert. Hands down, such an amazing experience. If I had to go to multiple concerts, it still would probably be way up there. And I did go with someone else who has been to multiple, and she said it was amazing too. So, Ariana Grande. What is your song of the week? It's called Running Up That Hill, the Meg Myers version, not the Kate Bush version, although that one's also good. Do you still watch cartoons? No, only because I don't really watch TV at all anymore. If I did, I would definitely still watch cartoons. When was the last time you wrote a letter to someone on paper? I actually have a collection of letters that I've been writing. I only have like 25 right now. I plan on writing about 200. And they're not to anybody in particular. They're more of like, if in the event that I die, I wanted to leave behind words of advice and things like that so that my loved ones would still feel like they were able to get my counsel. How many languages can you speak? I speak English fluently, obviously, because it's my first language. I also speak German. I don't know what you would call it at this point. I used to speak it like fluently as well as I could English, but out of not using it in years, it's degrading a lot, so I'm probably maybe conversational at best. Do you believe in ghosts? I guess it would depend on what capacity we're talking about. I'm a very scientific mind, and it's considered one of the fundamental rules of the universe that energy cannot be created or destroyed, it can only change forms. So who is to say that our collective consciousness, or our soul, if you will, doesn't stay around us in some form when we die. Maybe not necessarily like a cognizant spirit, but what was your first concert? Well, I already answered that. It was Ariana Grande. I could not have picked a better concert to go to. If I could just live in a time loop of that 3-hour experience for the rest of my life, I would totally be happy if I also met a cute boy at that concert. Cheetos or Fritos? If I had to pick, Cheetos, but I don't like either. Can you curl your tongue? No. If you haven't been able to gather, I have a lateral lisp speech impediment, and what that means is the muscles at the back of my tongue never develop properly, which is why I can't say S's correctly, and that also makes it to where I cannot do many things with my tongue that a normal person can do. Or have you ever won a spelling bee? I have. I've also lost one. I've only ever been in 2. I won one, and then I did a second one like a year later, and it was for school, and my teacher was like talking all of this smack about how I was gonna win. And if there's one thing you'll learn about me, I hate when people expect me to do something for them because they don't want to do it themselves. So I was mad and I threw the first word because, you know, don't talk shit. Do you own a record player? There's a record player in my house, but it's not personally mine. It's my grandmother's. And my cousin Marissa, who went to the Ariana Grande concert with me, has the Sweetener album on record, and we like to listen to that. So who would you like to see in concert? I would love to see Lady Gaga because I know that she would perform really well. Jasmine told me that Demi Lovato was a really good person to see, and then obviously I would love to see Cher on one of her 40,000 farewell tours that she does. Sugar cookies or snickerdoodles? Snickerdoodle all the way. It has all the plus sides of a sugar cookie with the added benefit of cinnamon and the name. It has everything going for it. Can you swim well? I could never be a competitive swimmer. I don't have any problem swimming though. Like I've never almost drowned or anything like that. I just can't swim very quick. Are you patient? I have been described as having the patience of a Buddhist monk. So I would say yes. DJ or band at wedding? I would probably pick DJ because I feel as though there's less margin for error than if there were a band, and there's less people to coordinate. And unless I can get the actual singer of my favorite songs to sing, I don't think I'd want to run the risk of not liking how they sound. Do you have kids? No. Do you want children? I do want one child one day, a boy, and I want to name him Luca, but I have this sneaking suspicion that it's not in the cards for me. Finally, describe the best birthday you've ever had. Growing up, for the most part, my birthdays were never really a thing of note. I can remember multiple times where we didn't do anything for it. I know that when I was like 7, I went to Chuck E. Cheese, and Jasmine has a picture of that back here somewhere. But for the most part, I always spent it by myself, and after I turned 17, my stepfather committed suicide on my birthday, and that kind of ruined any semblance of celebration for my family when it comes to that. So birthdays were never really something that were seen as positive to me until my 21st birthday. I would say it's the first birthday I really experienced with Jasmine as my best friend. We'd had a birthday before together, but I had only known her like a month or 2 at the time, and I was friends with someone that hated her, and yeah, it was just uncomfortable. But for my 21st birthday, we were best friends, and we had gotten this new like 3-story townhouse that we really liked. And I remember that she made this birthday cake. I wish I had a picture for it. I might somewhere. And on the top of it was this Ken doll that she had painted the hair red of, because I had red hair at the time. And he was like drunk, vomiting up sprinkles. He had his shoe missing. There was like little mini bottles of alcohol. It was so freaking cute. And she knew that I wasn't really someone that liked to go out and party, so instead we just had drinks at home, and we went to the pool and we just hung out and talked about life. And it was really simple, but that's probably gonna always be like one of my fondest birthday memories. Here's to hoping that this year and every year forward can surpass that one. And we're still best friends, so I have no doubt that it will. And that's all that I got for you today. Sorry again about being shirtless. I know it's kind of awkward. I'm not really like in super good shape. Although I feel as though this is misleadingly thinning looking, so yay for that. If you like this video and you want to see more content like it, or you have something you want me to do, a tag, a question, a challenge, a prompt, let me know down in the comments. Like, share with your friends, get everyone up in here. I'm a very social person, so I enjoy interacting with multitudes of people. I'd also really love it if you could subscribe to my channel, write your name into the storybook that is my life. I'm always looking for new background characters. That sounds terrible, but here's to 26. So as always, I am Harley Nouveau, and until our stars next in line.